This is the 2006 season preview for the William and Mary legacy here on College Hoops 2K6. Coach David Hodgson and the William and Mary tribe have been working extremely hard during the off-season to get ready for this year, the 2006 season. Not a lot of expectations according to the experts going into this year. We're coming off of an 8-21 season last year, no winning season since 1998, and never have reached the NCAA tournament in program history. One of the few original D1 members to have that hanging over our heads in a way, and we are going to do everything we can to put an end to that and reach the NCAA tournament the first time in program history here in 2006. Certainly got our work cut out for us, but we believe inside the locker room that we can make a run of it here. So let's meet the tribe for the 2006 season here. Let's go. Look here at the roster. We have junior power forward number 35, Byron Gerald. And we have senior small forward number 20, Stanley Hutchinson. Senior small forward number 21, Vincent Bates. Senior center number 52, Darrell Weatherby. Junior shooting guard number 3, Lance Kamen. Freshman power forward number 4, Jerry Parnell. Sophomore point guard number 10, Kerry Nelson. Junior center number 54, Seamus Craigle. Sophomore small forward number 15, Jarice Sherrod. Freshman shooting guard number 11, Andrew Finley. Freshman power forward number 42, Lloyd Grady. And then there's freshman power forward number 33, Jamar Cantrell, who'll be taking a red shirt this season. Sophomore shooting guard number 5, Dean Plavich. He will also be taking a red shirt this season. And then we have junior point guard number 2, Brad Mattingly. That is a look at your 2006 William and Mary tribe. I will take a look here at our 2006 schedule. We will be starting things off at home as hosts of a small season opening tournament. It's a 4-team tournament to get the year started. It will be, of course, us as the host, and we'll be taking on the Maine Black Bears in our first round matchup. The other first round matchup will be High Point Panthers versus Holy Cross Crusaders. There's a 4-team tournament there to get the season started. Hoping to get ourselves out to a positive beginning. Hoping to get a win and get another game on home court. Then we will be on the road. The first time we'll be taking on Hampton. We'll be at home versus Campbell. On the road versus Longwood. Then we will have our first game in the Colonial, taking on UNC Wilmington at home. We will then be on the road versus Towson, another conference game. Then some non-conference games on the road against UMBC, at home against UNC Greensboro, on the road against Virginia Tech, and then on the road against Richmond. Then we will be back in conference play, at home against Drexel, on the road against UNC Wilmington, at home against George Mason, the road against Georgia State, the road against VCU. Then we'll be at home against Old Dominion. Old Dominion is the regular season and the tournament champions in the Colonial from last year. We'll then be on the road against George Mason, at home against James Madison, on the road against Northeastern, at home against Georgia State, on the road against Old Dominion, on the road against James Madison, at home against Delaware, at home against Hofstra, on the road against Drexel, and we will finish off the regular season at home against VCU. So that is a look at the season coming up here for us. Coach David Hodgson and the William and Mary tribe here in 2006. Let's do it. Very fired up to get this all going here. And hope to turn some heads and make a run forward here. Take a look now at the season preview show.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our preview of the upcoming NCAA basketball season. What a year we expect it to be. We're pleased to have you along for the ride. I'm Greg Gumbel. With me is Clark Kellogg. We're ready to give you a look at all the top teams and players in college hoops this season. So let's dive right into it and unveil the top teams in the preseason top 25 poll. Here are the top 5 teams in our preseason poll. The Connecticut Huskies are the number 1 team in the land. The Duke Blue Devils have staked a claim to the number 2 spot. The Texas Longhorns are just behind them at number 3. The Arizona Wildcats come in as the number 4 team. The Oklahoma Sooners round out the top 5 heading into the season. So there you have it. What's your take on the group?
There's an awful lot to like about those teams. They can beat you with fast break offense, hard-nosed defense, or anything in between. It's going to take something special to knock those teams off of the top of the ladder.
The Connecticut Huskies are the early favorites from their perch on top of the poll. They posted 23 wins last season.
There weren't a lot of teams that got that many wins. The goal this year is to do it again, and I think they've got the horses to pull it off.
The Duke Blue Devils are an interesting team in the number 2 spot. This is a powerful team playing in a powerful conference.
With the talent they have, there's no reason to think they won't be around deep into March.
The Texas Longhorns stand out as the number 3 team in the preseason poll. They reached the tournament last year but couldn't get out of the opening round.
I think some tournament experience is better than none at all, so they should be better prepared if they get there this season, and I believe they will be there.
The Arizona Wildcats are near the top, ranked 4th as we start the season. They were 30-game winners last year.
Matching that record is going to be a challenge, but they've simply got to forget about the past and get to the business of winning games right here, right now.
The Oklahoma Sooners are in good position as the 5th-ranked team in the nation. They were a tournament team last year but didn't get as far as they would have liked, losing in the second round.
At least the players remember what it was like to get there. That's an advantage. They'll try to improve on that performance in this year's tournament. You can count on that.
Now let's have a look at the next group of teams in our top 25. What do you think of that group, Clark?
That's a heck of a group right there. The teams in the top 5 better watch their backs because there are a few in this group that are going to be ready to take their place right away.
The Alabama Crimson Tide are a very intriguing team, it would seem. They were 2nd place in their conference last year at the end of the regular season.
They're obviously going to want to go one better than that this time around, and I think they have the ability to do so.
The Villanova Wildcats also strike me as a team to keep an eye on. When you think of the word team, these guys immediately come to mind.
Chemistry is a word we throw around all the time, but when you see a team that has it, it's fun to watch. They play so well together. Individual goals mean nothing to them. It's all about the team.
All right, Clark, thanks. Let's move to the teams that round out our preseason top 25. What can you tell us about that group as a whole?
This is always a group of teams that I like to keep an eye on because there are some real sleepers that aren't necessarily on people's radar right now, but will be soon enough.
The Kansas Jayhawks are worthy of a closer look. They're coming off a regular season championship in their conference last season.
They have to be considered in the running to take that title this year as well. You've got to put them in the mix.
The Washington Huskies could provide us with some storylines. They aren't going to be very easy to handle this season, especially at home.
They're going to be difficult no matter where you play them. But between their talent and the passion of their fans, I would not want to have to play them in their building.
All right, let's take a look at the guys on the court and move on to the top players in the nation. There before you, our 5 preseason first-team All-Americans. These players are the best of the best in college basketball this season. Take us through the list, if you would, Clark.
Okoti is easily one of the best players in the college game today. He's a force to be reckoned with on the basketball court at both ends. We're just lucky to get to watch him play. He could be in for one of the biggest seasons in recent memory.
Let's move on to the next first-teamer on the list. The Arizona Wildcats struck it rich the day this guy showed up on campus. Wouldn't you say, Clark?
Hayes is another special player. Not only is he extremely talented, but they say he's one of the most coachable players in college hoops. But hey, I'd be coachable too if I were half as good a player as he is. Who wouldn't love to have this guy?
Continuing through the first team, let's take a look at another fantastic player. The Boston College Eagles are going to be very happy with the production they get out of this guy this year, I have a feeling.
Shaw begins the year on the first team, and I think we'll see him there at the end of the year as well. What a talented all-around player this guy is. Keep an eye on his stats this season.
Next on our list is a player who's sure to give the fans some thrills this year. The Oklahoma Sooner will be looking to him for inspiration and leadership.
Wilder gives him a go-to guy in more than one area. This young man truly understands the game of basketball. He has tremendous instincts to match his athletic ability and confidence. There is nothing he can't do on a basketball court.
Last but not least in our rundown of this year's preseason All-Americans is this young man. The Duke Blue Devils have got to love having him to lead them into battle.
Christensen is truly a treat to watch on the basketball court. He could star on any team in any conference in the nation. He's certainly deserving of a spot on the first team, and I just hope he gets the recognition he has coming to him this year.
Now let's reveal our second team preseason All-Americans. Not much of a fall-off from the first team, I can tell you that. Let's get right into it. The Pittsburgh Panthers have a budding star on their hands right here, not to mention his pro potential. What a future he has in store for him.
Johnston didn't miss out on the first team selection by much. You can be sure of that. There is so much to like about him as a player. He's got that deadly combination of basketball IQ and physical skills that makes him so hard to guard. He's a solid player in every aspect.
Next up, another player that'll have the pro scouts drooling when he gets ready to make the jump from college. The Temple Owls lean on this guy quite a bit, and he rarely lets them down.
Dillon is a tremendously talented player. We're looking at a bona fide Player of the Year candidate, Greg. He's right where he belongs on this list of All-Americans.
Certainly our next player has earned his spot as one of the 10 best players in the country. The Gonzaga Bulldogs will look much better this season with this young man around.
McCarthy is one of those guys who seems like he was born to play basketball. Not only is he extremely talented, but they say he's one of the most coachable players in college hoops. But hey, I'd be coachable too if I were half as good a player as he is. Who wouldn't love to have this guy?
When our next player hits the court, the fans are always ready to stand up and pay attention. The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs have made him one of the cornerstones of their team, and for good reason.
Nualia Tia is no surprise as a member of the All-American team. He's a wonderful player who does so many things well. He would be a leader on any team in the country.
Let's move on to the last player on our list of the second-team All-American. The Nevada Wolfpack have a few fans who are interested in watching his exploits this season.
Vasquez is the final player on the list, but he's just as strong as our other four picks. I know how hard he's worked to reach this level, and he'll continue to work hard throughout the season.
That'll do it for us here in the studio. What a season of college basketball we should have in store for us. Now it's time to get you out to the hardwood and start the action.
All right, here we go. Time to begin the 2006 season. Let's go Tribe.